Today we are going to be going on a trip with Paladin Dance of the Brotherhood of Steel. This particular quest is an early level excursion, and I'm not going to bother explaining too much about the why and how. I mean, you can watch him prattle if you want. The gist of it is that we're going to ArcJet Systems, a space engineering company, to go retrieve something for the Brotherhood of Steel. And we apparently can't do it ourselves. We have to take Paladin Dance along. I mean, trust issues are just kind of their thing. So we'll watch. We have to go through the obligatory escort section as he puts on his hat in the fanciest possible manner. And then we'll head on down and get to killing.
Take this alley. Follow me. ArcJet is a short hike to the west. If we take this road, we should be able to avoid the larger packs of ferals infesting Cambridge. Traveling this far from the police station is a risk, but getting that transmitter up and running needs to be our top priority. If it was up to me, I'd relocate my team. But Scribe Halen detected some disturbing energy readings in the area that need to be investigated. We don't know much about them, except that they're short-lived and broadcast on a frequency only attainable with a high level of technology. We're concerned that whoever or whatever is creating those energy readings might be a potential threat. So it's our job to investigate. It might surprise you to learn that my recon team isn't the first to visit the Commonwealth. Over the last 7 years, 2 other teams were sent here by the Brotherhood to gather technology. The first team's mission was a huge success. They came back with crates full of pre-war artifacts and historical documents. The second wasn't so fortunate. Shortly after they arrived, we lost contact with them, and they haven't been heard from since. As far as my team goes, we've lost 4 good men to this godforsaken wasteland. We've been a target from the moment we arrived. But despite our setbacks, I don't intend to give up and head home, or end up missing.
As we're watching the Paladin run around here in his power armor, I just wanted to take a quick moment and talk about it. I really do love the way power armor has turned out in this game. I mean, like everybody, I was a little bit nervous about it, but I wasn't quite as hesitant as some people were because, let's face it, the power armor before was kind of boring as far as the comparison between, oh, the almighty power armor can't, you know, be beaten by anyone type of thing. I mean, sure, it had some good stat buffs, but it was heavy as hell, and frankly, I just got used to not wearing it in Fallout 3 in New Vegas. So, it was nice to have it come back in a form where it's really kind of impressive. And not only does it feel, you know, really good to run around in, it feels heavy, it feels mechanical, it gives you neat abilities like a much better headlamp than you would ever get from your Pip-Boy light. And I absolutely love that it negates falling damage. But it also really feels like it conveys a better gameplay effect because you don't just have an extra bit of armor on, you've got this whole extra layer. It's the only type of armor that degrades. It can be upgraded to be, you know, more anti-radiation, more anti-energy, or ballistic.
Paladin
and
Dance.
Listen up. We do this clean and
it just makes it feel really cool, but doesn't quite reach that level of being an easy button like the standard example is usually these days the electro gauntlets from Batman Arkham Origins, you can still get yourself killed wearing power armor. It's not really all that hard, but well maintained and especially upgraded power armor does make you very formidable in a world that is a lot more hostile than it was in the last two 3D Fallout games.
It was corporations like this that put the last nail in the coffin for mankind. They exploited technology for their own gains, pocketing the cash and ignoring the damage they'd done. Look at these wrecks. It appears as though the facility's automated security's already been dealt with.
Is this the Brotherhood of Steel's handiwork?
Unfortunately, no. Look at the evidence. There isn't a single spent ammunition casing or drop of blood in sight. These robots were assaulted by Institute synths.
Synth? Isn't that the same as robot?
They're an abuse of technology created by the Institute. Abominations meant to improve upon humanity. It's unacceptable. They simply can't be allowed to exist.
What's the Institute?
They're a group of scientists who went underground when the Great War started. Spent the last few decades littering the Commonwealth with their technological nightmares.
I'll be on the lookout.
Roger that. Let's move out. This place is a mess, but I still see a few pieces of salvage that the Brotherhood might be interested in. After we're done here, I'll have to mark this place for sweep and retrieve. Looks like a dead end. See if you can find a way to get that door open. I'm gonna reconnoiter the area.
A quick editing flip, cut out about 2 minutes of listening to holotape bickering, and we get our first encounter, at least my first encounter in this playthrough, with the synth. Yeah, I mean, they're robots. Okay. I'm going to keep calling them robots, whether they're androids or not, because I hate the distinction so much because of so many people pointing it out to me over the years that I'm just going to call everything a robot. And I would love to make GIFs of these robots for the rest of my life, just to spite those who constantly point out the proper ways to say these things. Anyway, the synths aren't, they're not super imposing, but they can be a pain in the ass in a hurry because they fire so quickly. They go down as well as you would expect, for the most part. Really, the biggest thing to worry about, as far as they go that I've seen, is the swarming ability that they have. And this goes for, a lot of the enemies in here. Feral ghouls are terrible at it. Well, terribly good at it, I'm afraid. But Fallout 4 is capable of putting a lot more enemies on the screen at one time, as we will see later on. And a pack of synths can do a lot of damage if you're not careful and don't bring heavy enough hardware to the fight. But as long as you do keep your head and keep your shots on a specific body part, you'll do okay.
Damn synths have compromised most of the facility. Remain vigilant. We've got turrets ahead.
Excellent.
Weapons cold.
Watch your footing. Looks like the power's out in this section. The transmitter should be in the control room at the top of the core, but it looks like the elevators are dead. We'll have to keep heading down for now, and find a way to get the facility's power back online. Look at this place. Scribes would have a field day in here. There has to be a power backup system somewhere. Scout the maintenance area off of the main chamber. I'll remain here and watch our backs.
Yes.
A quick little interesting note here is this guy plans stereotypical, homicidal violence at his workplace. We're about to see that both the lockpicking and computer mini games are back from the previous two games, and while it's no surprise that they are, gosh, I have to say I'm awful glad about it. I mean, I'm usually so poor at the lockpicking mini games in video games, but I'm really, really good at this one. So it's nice to see it around, especially if you played a lot of Oblivion, or anywhere near as much as I did. You'll know that Oblivion's lockpicking game sometimes was a frustration, and the computer hacking is an awful lot of fun for me too. Although half the time, I'll admit, when I'm bored, I don't try to figure out the codes. I just select the first 3 terms, and if none of them are right, I back out and try again. I mean, I like them. I'm not saying that I'm not lazy. Anyway, after we're done playing through this terminal, we are going to play a few rounds of how to kill this. All right, we've hacked into the terminal. It's time for round 1 of how to kill him. The essential scenario now is that we've just put a whole lot of power into the engine core, so we're going to draw a little attention. Attention that I'm going to have to deal with. Attention that I am not capable of dealing with. At least not on the first try or two. This round, let's guess. How will Brian go astray? Now, I'll show you in a second. It's not going to take very long. You'll notice that we are... see you dance. You'll notice that we are in the firing chamber. That's going to come up later. You'll also notice that there's at least 5 of those stupid synths out there. And in this tight of place, they're a big pain in the butt. Red barrel. Did you see it down there on the left? Guess who did? The synths. Try one. Got myself blowed up. For our second attempt, I want to be at least fair to myself and admit that this time around, I could have just kept what I did. I just felt really, really bad about it. After all, we're at an engine core. It's an experimental super-powered engine. Why not, light the candle. Hey, Dance, buddy, you want to come over here? No, you busy? Alright, bro.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engine firing.
Don't worry, kids. He's okay, but gosh, that does kind of feel like a jerk thing to do. I mean, if I were playing as a more malevolent character, I might have just gone with it, but even if it's a Brotherhood of Steel guy and they all kind of have their Brotherhood of Steel up their Brotherhood of Butts, I'd rather not, you know, blast them like that. Oh well, we'll try again.
Engine core power restored. Thermal engine fueled, primed, and standing by for your command.
Take 3. Wah, wah.
Excellent.
And now, in take 4, I finally get wise. Yes, hold on to your butts. It actually happens. I destroy the thing that destroys me. Imagine the thought.
There we go.
Engine core power restored. Thermal engine fueled, primed, and standing by for your command.
But first, a quick looting interval. And that's enough of that nonsense. And we get to ride an elevator. I have to say, I really love the elevators in this game. I'm not totally clear, at least, on when they're in area transition or when they're in there, you know, just for fun or spacing or whatever. But that they exist really goes with the idea of heightening the game world that Bethesda said they were looking into. And really, they work pretty well. The only problem I've had is one location where Piper could not seem to figure out how to follow me unless I told her to get on the elevator before I went. But that, again, only happened one time. With my looting and killing complete, we're going to go ahead and call the adventure of the ArcJet Synth assassinations to a close. Fun early quest. You get used to the idea of working with somebody with power armor. The real disadvantage being that when they're in a doorway, they are in the doorway. And we got to meet the synths, we got to ride some elevators, we got to blast someone with a jet engine. Good day all around, in my opinion. Until next time.